For 400 years, golf has been a gentleman's game. A game of tradition, etiquette, and above all, sportsmanship. Until now.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah! Meet Happy Gilmore. He was a hockey player.
That's my puck, baby! Don't you ever touch my puck!
Who was skating on thin ice. But when his grandma needed his help...
Mrs. Gilmore owes the IRS $270,000. We're gonna have to sell the house to someone else.
But she's an old lady. I mean, look at her. She's old.
He discovered a new talent.
The house is like 400 yards away. That's unbelievable.
Now he's going from the rinks...
Step right up, folks. See if you can outdrive the amazing golf ball whacker guy.
...to the links.
Hey, where you going with those clubs, punk? I'm your caddy.
He's gonna be on the tour. That's super.
He's got the swing. He's got the drive.
He shoots, he scores!
He's got the balls.
Oh, God, that hurt a little, but I'm all right.
Quite a large and economically diverse crowd here at the Invitational. I guess it's the new tour sensation, Happy Gilmore.
Hey, if I saw myself in clothes like those, I'd have to kick my own ass.
And while he's trying to keep Granny out of the rest home...
I'm telling you, this place is perfect. You're gonna make friends in no time.
Get me out of here!
He's driving the game of golf.
Why didn't you just go home? That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Straight into the ground.
Damn you people, this is golf!
I'm Bob Barker. Looks like you and I are going to be playing together today.
This guy sucks. All right, let's go.
Universal Pictures presents Adam Sandler
The price is wrong, Bob.
as golf's missing link, Happy Gilmore.
Hey, Nom.
Hi, Jeremy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What's with the Jason? I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of that at all.
Because I love horror movies. That's why I like Jason. The Jason thing. I don't know.
I thought you were more of a Freddy person. Real talk.
Real talk?
Real talk. I thought you were more of a Freddy person than Jason.
No, more of a Jigsaw guy.
Okay.
The Saw movies, obviously.
Okay. I guess I was comparing the two, obviously. You know.
Just the two? Michael Myers?
You know.
There's three.
Oh, you're that guy. Okay. You're going to do it
Leprechaun,
again.
there's four.
Oh, okay. You're doing it again. Okay. Apparently you don't like choices of two.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, dude.
Okay, whatever, Morty. Okay, anyways. So, I want to tell you that...
Scream. The Scream face guy.
Are you done?
No. What
else you got?
I think I'm done now.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not a big fan of golf. I'm just not. I suck at it. And
I never played.
How do you not play golf?
Never really played golf. Like golf. I played like putt.
Have you rode in a golf cart before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's close enough.
Yeah. Driving range. It was horrible.
Because basketball is your favorite sport.
Basketball, yes.
Okay.
All inspired by Space Jam.
Okay. Who's your favorite Saturday Night Live character?
Oh,
Actor.
that is a tough question.
Do you need me to run down the list? Eddie Murphy, Chris Farley, Adam Sandler, Mike Myers.
Well, because Eddie Murphy was a host, just a host, right? He wouldn't
he
actually.
did skits.
He didn't actually. I didn't think he was.
He was
actually,
on SNL. Yeah, that's how he got his big career going with Dan Aykroyd and all that stuff.
For some reason, I thought he was just a host. Here he would host a bunch. I could be. Yeah, I'm probably wrong there.
He did that one skit with like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but he was like in like a homeless person. He was learning how to build stuff as like how to steal stuff. Go on, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Because I was sitting there trying to think. I was liking you just continue going on because I was trying to stall for time to try to figure out exactly who the answer was. I mean, SNL was an interesting one. First thing that comes off to mind is Wayne's World, Michael Myers, Mike Myers, of course Adam Sandler, Dana Carvey, like that era, Chris Farley.
The reason I asked this is because the most top two would be Adam Sandler and Chris Farley to me, because they were the ones that hit the big 90s that came out of Saturday Night Live the most.
They were the biggest ones.
Yeah,
but then, of course, I think a lot of people thought like Dan Aykroyd and stuff like that, too. Belushi.
Would you consider Dan Aykroyd more in the early 80s going into the 90s? Not like straight 90s? I can't think of a lot of Dan Aykroyd movies other than Conehead, but that had Chris Farley in it.
Yeah, I was just thinking Conehead.
But you had Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, and then you had Adam Sandler start his stuff from Billy Madison, Wedding Singer,
the big 90s hits.
Stuff, right?
Yeah.
But like, I guess out of all of them, if I had to pick the best two out of them, Chris Farley, Tommy Boy's probably the best one out of that family. Unless do you like Beverly Hills Cop Ninja? I mean Beverly Hills Ninja. Sorry, Beverly Hills Cop Ninja. Sorry,
Eddie Murphy. That's a tough, because there's Tommy Boy and
Black Sheep,
then
Beverly Hills Ninja.
I think Tommy Boy was probably the better one of them all that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
It's the one that people come to mind first, right? And I guess I'm trying to think for Adam Sandler, like, if Adam Sandler comes to mind, what's the first movie? And it's always compared to three movies in the 90s. It was Billy Madison, Wedding Singer, and the one you picked, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the three movies, of course, you said the 90s. I was thinking of just the three big Adam Sandler movies.
Just in general?
Just in general, which would be Waterboy, Billy Madison, and
Waterboy, was that late 90s? Was that 99?
Gosh, I would have to go back. I think it was late 90s.
It was.
Because here's the thing, right? Because we all know.
Go on.
Poor Nicky. Oh, what the other one where he was the dad?
Oh, Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. That was a nice wholesome.
And Mr. D's, but they didn't. But
I
they were
love
not,
Mr. D's.
But
I don't know why.
Ones that come
Guilty pleasure, Mr. D's.
Yeah, but they're not the ones that come to hit in your mind first. Like
Remote.
Yeah. What's the most popular that jumps in people's mind when you think of an actor?
Well, to me, definitely whenever you think of Adam Sandler, you have to think of the 90s movies. So Waterboy, Billy Madison, and Happy Gilmore. And, of course, my choice of this 90s flick is going to be Happy Gilmore.
Is that your favorite Adam Sandler movie at that time, or just in general?
Actually, it's probably my favorite Adam Sandler movie, period. Because, I mean, unfortunately, we can sit here and argue about how we feel about the Adam Sandler movies currently. And
anything 2000 and beyond?
Yeah. I mean, I think some of them are entertaining. Talking about the movies like currently on Netflix and on itself, we're just kind of like, blah.
Yeah.
We're not huge fan of it. But no, I definitely I got a chance. I just wanted to hit on an icon from the 90s, something that I remember and something I enjoyed a lot of, that I do find as a rewatchable, something that I watch every year, I think at least once a year. So Happy Gilmore was definitely my choice in that particular one, because I think that was Adam Sandler at his almost at his apex mountain, almost at his very peak, if not very close. What do you think?
I like I tell you the truth, like, I couldn't tell you what I remember from Billy Madison, but Happy Gilmore, I can remember all the stuff, because I think they had more great moments than Billy Madison.
Yeah, I mean, Billy Madison had its parts too. There's a couple parts that I do remember,
but it was that you can tell this is where Adam Sandler started being Adam Sandler, because he put a combination that just didn't make sense at first, but it makes sense. A hockey player that becomes a golfer. Yeah. And it makes so much sense how he blend that in, a hardcore person going into something that's pleasant and soft. Yeah. It's like
something a gentleman's game, right?
Yeah. And it's always cool to bring something crazy into something that's quiet, and trying to work with that.
Yeah, make it a little bit more youth friendly, I guess you would say. Yeah, because at the time, before like Tiger Woods and all that good stuff, golf was everyone really like the people who really enjoyed golf were a lot of older people who played
like
golf.
Jordan going to baseball. Except
I liked baseball. Jordan wasn't really the reason why I liked baseball.
Yeah, but it's kind of like taking something different and putting in something else, and like, I don't know if this will work out.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if it will work out, but I think he brought some more eyes to golf, because if not, at the very least, if he didn't bring eyes to golf, everyone tried that stupid golf swing where he does that little four steps, try to swing.
I think that's why I think it's the most popular, the best one of his things, because it just came out with moments. People, like you said, people come out of the movie and wanting to do the title, the Happy Gilmore, and it's like, there's no name for it. I'm gonna wedding crash this, or I'm gonna Billy Madison this.
I forgot about Wedding Crashers. I don't know.
Not Wedding Crashers, Wedding Singers. All right.
Yeah, Wedding Singers. Yeah. I forgot
that's
about
one I
want
to put on my list. I have never seen Wedding Singers.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So, how did you feel about the trailer when you first watched it? Actually, all right. Let me ask you in 2 questions. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. In 2 questions, because think of it in this sense of, would it make you interested in watching that movie, and then it's how you truly feel about it, just in general.
Okay, question number 1. Yes, it makes me feel like I want to watch.
If you hadn't seen the movie,
yeah,
before.
I would watch it.
Okay,
I would definitely watch it because it was just so much random stuff. And I think the highlight of that trailer that everybody wanted to find out was the fight with him and Bob Barker from The Price is Right. Because Bob Barker, you never saw him in a film until that popped up,
which is weird, right?
Yeah, and I was like, what is he doing here? And then he fights, and that's where the funny part. And they're fighting like fist to fist. It wasn't like one punch and then Bob Barker is like down for the count. Like Bob Barker for the fight. I think that was the highlight of that whole trailer. But the trailer was hilarious because like you could tell there's more stuff that they didn't want to show. They were trying really hard to hold this stuff. I think the Bob Barker was not. I think they shouldn't have shown the Bob Barker. That would have been just a great shock value to it.
Like a shock value.
But I think they needed something to get you to just seal the deal. Because the other stuff was funny, but you need something else to just push that mark.
For me, if I hadn't seen the trailer before, or if I hadn't seen the movie, because actually that was the first time I've ever seen the trailer for it.
Oh, okay.
Because I've never seen the trailer for the movie. I just watched the movie.
Yeah.
In my instincts, I would follow the actor. I generally follow actors and just based on how they do. So during that period of time, like Jim Carrey and his body action comedy, I guess you would call it more of an action comedy or a physical comedy. That's the word I was thinking of. The physical comedy of it all, I think with Adam Sandler from Billy Madison definitely made me want to see Happy Gilmore. From the trailer in itself, it was interesting. It had little parts where it was just kind of funny. I don't know if the trailer itself sold me on the movie. The beautiful thing about it is me after seeing the movie already and just watching the trailer, kind of like I just did there for the first time, I felt that no matter what you showed in the trailer, you can show all the funny parts in the world that you want. What's even better is that the fact that the context behind everything in the trailer, it's funnier. Like, I think when you watch the movie itself, like, even you may have seen it in the trailer, it's just as funny, if not funnier, than what it was before when you watched it in the trailer. Because you actually get the context of what the story is all about.
Random thought here, sorry. You mentioned Jim Carrey. Those two have never done a movie together. Can you believe that? Isn't that weird?
It'll be a Netflix special.
Okay.
The number 24.
It's kind of like Morgan Freeman and Samuel L. Jackson. Like, they're just certain actors who you would think they would do one thing at one point. Anyways, that's another.
I feel like there can only be one.
I guess so. It's only be one funny man to lead the role. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, I'm excited to go back for another swing at this movie.
Yeah.
And of course, it'll probably be a hole in one. Stop me if I get too punny.
That wasn't a pun. You were just using the words to it.
Nice. Well, I can't wait to sink in.
There you go. You let it sink in.
Don't correct me.
Breathe it in, man.
No, I like.
I tell you one thing though. The girl and the actress in the movie, she is definitely like cute, like in a kind of like what you had talked about before in a previous movie that we had talked about. Yeah. I want to say it was Night Shift, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, Night Shift. She has a very cute like look to her. I really dig
one of those actors that you don't know the name and she's only known for this movie only and nothing else?
I know she's probably known for other movies too. I just can't think of her name at the moment. You don't have the wiki page for me to look at right now. We'll worry about that when we actually
knowing your people. No, I'm just kidding. I suck too.
Just wait, because I already know what happened before.
Right.
Anywho, with that being said, man, can't wait to. We're gonna go check out this movie. Then we can't wait to share you our thoughts.
Hey, thank you so much for listening to this episode as part of the In-Game Boss program, a network of gaming and other variety shows. And remember, you can find all these shows on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. All you have to do is just follow and subscribe and enjoy all our other variety shows, like the In-Game Boss podcast, When Jeremy Met Nom and Finally Do a Movie podcast, Bond Never Dies, and the Cabinet Sessions. So thank you for listening. Enjoy the rest of the show. And we're back. I am Jeremy Evans along with Nom.
I am Nom.
So, I haven't laughed so hard in a long time of a classic movie like this one that you picked for Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore, 1996.
Yeah, that was so. It was your pick. How did it feel to come back to that? I tell you right now, I think I haven't been in tears in a lot of movies in a long time. And especially it's hard for me to go back to a movie and see if I can still break a tear. You know what I mean? Like, you've seen the jokes, you've been all this, you're already prepared for it. But I guess, like, if you haven't seen it for more than almost a decade, it almost feels brand new, and it just starts coming back to you. So my question is for you on this, like, did it all feel like you remember everything on it, or were there some stuff like, oh yeah, that was a surprise factor?
Before we get into get into what I was thinking about the movie, we started off with the whole horror thing, and I forgot to mention that you will be able to see on YouTube. There's actually a trailer where they do the Happy Gilmore in like a horror kind of movie style, which I recommend you guys check it out because I think it was actually really well done. Yeah, he'll post it. I forgot to mention it before when we did the trailers. When I did the little it made no sense to anyone. But anyway, besides that, going back to watch Happy Gilmore, oh my god, like hysterical. Mm-hmm. Like the beauty about that movie. There's so many things that I can say that I like about the movie. But there was so many things little things that you pick up when you watch a movie over and over and over again that you laugh even harder about, or that you forget that it was even there. So I think this was by far like, peak Adam Sandler, or like, because I know Billy Madison came out before this. I think this was like his coming out movie. Like this was the movie that made him who he was. And I also forgot there was other characters in the movies that kind of stood out too in their own little way. So like Ben Stiller's character, like the guy that worked in the nursing home. The nursing home, yeah. Yeah, and you have to remember this is kind of Ben Stiller's kind of big thing too, because he didn't hit it big until a couple years afterwards after this movie. Mm-hmm. But there's, of course we remember Bob Barker, Chubbs, easily remember him. The next Jaws from the guy that played Jaws from James Bond.
He is from your The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean there's a lot of characters, but I think really what it was is just a lot of just memorable kind of quotes that they said throughout the entire movie. But I thought the movie was well paced. I mean, it was like an hour and a half, so I think it was like 94 minutes, I think was total. And the movie you could just watch it, and there wasn't a part where it was boring at all. It was moment after moment after moment after moment.
I want to say that I think the key of this movie's success of being so funny is they took two things that should not be put together. A guy that's hockey, where you have a guy that's always rough around the edges, always want to just use his fist to answer all his problems, and then you put him in a place that is soft and quiet, and then that's where that giant clash starts, because that's why like he got so popular there, because like no one has seen a person like that was like, I feel like he's a down to earth person, and he doesn't feel snobby or anything like that.
Yeah,
and
a gentleman's game.
Like and I think that was the biggest clash of that whole thing. It was not even like, I know the golf ball, when he hit the golf ball, it goes over 400 yards with no problem, but that wasn't the kicker to me. The kicker to me is the moment when he first walked on the course is where it all triggered, like, this is not his world, and I'm having a good time watching him trying to adapt to it.
Yeah, and I think that was the beautiful thing. I think the story itself was well put together. I also thought with the soundtrack of the movie was really well put together too. I think it just hit the right moments and the right peaks and valleys, I think, throughout the movie. What about you?
Yes, I totally agree. You forget that he played about five games through that whole course of the movie.
You see,
that we have seen. So that was great. I loved everybody that was accompanying him. Most movies, like, you'll have another character that joins him on certain parts of it. Yeah. Every character that joined him, from the doubles to the trainer to the love interest, anyone that besides Adam Sandler were hilarious, or you enjoyed the company with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, the fact that the side characters were just as meaningful as the as the main character.
Even the douchey villain.
Oh yeah, even the douchey.
Yeah, even theirs was really good.
Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, it was just so freaking funny to me, and like you actually felt you wanted him to win. You really felt for the character.
Yeah. So I think it was well directed too. Especially it got you to buy into the idea that this dude is trying to learn and evolve in hockey, or not in hockey, but in golf as a hockey player. But I tell you what, I had mentioned that the girl was really cute in the movie, Julie Bowen.
Yes.
Now, if you don't know, like I mentioned, I don't really know what other accolades she does, but she is the main the wife in Modern Family.
Okay.
And I don't know. She's aged well.
Yeah, she is.
She has aged well, and I'm gonna tell you what, I did not know. Like whenever I saw side by side picture, I did not know. I think it's the hair.
It could be the hair
that throws me off. But yeah, she is the main the wife in in that. And next, of course, I mentioned Ben Stiller. I thought Ben Stiller did such a good job of just being an ass, and one that he hasn't really done much of being an ass since Dodgeball. I think later on, as he picks up.
Yeah, that was more like the over the top, right?
Yeah, the over the top, just kind of like, just being a really douchey kind of like a slave driver kind of father, or not father figure, but a boss kind of figure. And of course, I think one of the scenes that kind of caught me off guard, I don't know why, but there was the scene where Adam Sandler takes Vicky, I think it's Vicky, Virginia. Sorry, Virginia takes Virginia
Maybe
to.
Is that short? No, I'm just kidding. It's Veronica. I'm trying to help you out there. Go on.
Yeah. No, Virginia to the ice rink.
Yeah.
And then they do the whole cutesy kind of love scene, and I was just like, that's adorable. Then they pan out, they do the endless love song, and then they pan out, and there's the janitor who's just sitting there
singing the song.
They're singing the song, and I was just like, wow, I forgot about that part. I don't know why that hit me so hard, but I started laughing pretty hard in that one.
I was really laughing some of the parts where his caddy that he picked up from the guy that just wipes cars in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
And his little randomness and stuff, like, in golf sometimes, like when you're in the putt area, you put a quarter down on the green, so the balls. He just takes a quarter and just walks, and no one questions it.
Yeah, not to mention he just like he is like, you got the ball, and he just brings out his underwear. From the
from the ball cleaner.
The ball cleaner, and then just like then there's all of a sudden a gratuitous ass shot, and you're just like, really, was that necessary?
Right?
Was that really necessary? Thanks, of course, Chubbs.
Yeah, Chubbs was known for in Rocky, and he was also known in Predator.
Yes.
Good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
By far, this movie was his apex. This his highest peak.
So if you had,
I'm just kidding. It's not his highest peak.
Do you have not so much a quote? It's more of, do you have a moment where you were about to tear up? Was there any point in that movie like you felt like you were going to tear up? Like, mine has to be the Bob Barker fight.
Yeah,
and I was prepared for it.
Yeah.
And I still laughed so hard. I think I laughed so hard about it because Bob Barker was really on a rhythm fight.
Yeah.
He was just doing punch, punch, punch,
he was
right,
a boxer,
punch.
yeah.
And then he rolls, and then Ben Stiller like just finally gets a grab and roll over, and he knocks, and he headbutts him, and he's like, the price is wrong, bitch. And then he just gets right back up, does the same pattern. Boom, boom, boom. But I think it was too the instigation of him saying like, God, this guy sucks, because he had that other guy that was getting paid by Shooter to like mock him all the time, like,
exactly,
jackass.
Right. Calling him a jackass and everything. That was the beautiful thing about it too, is just like you just never expected anything from Bob Barker. You would think that in like privately in his life, you're just like, yeah, I can kind of see him be kind of like that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he does the whole boxing thing, and you're just like, yeah, that's very Bob Barker-ish. Like, I don't know why that was very Bob Barker-ish, but when he just started doing it, you were just like, yeah, that fits. That suits him completely.
I think the best, though, I think it would have been ice on the cake. After he beat him up, he walks away and said, don't forget to neuter your pets, bitch. Or something like that. That would have been so funny.
If he said something like that.
Yeah.
I tell you what though, it's just the random, just I don't know, the physical comedy of it all that is kind of funny too. Mm-hmm. Is whenever just like he goes up to the two golfers, just like I wanted to put it in the hole. It just wouldn't go in the hole. And he just takes the shirt off and just uppercuts the dude. Yes. And the dude just rolls off to the floor. You're just like, holy crap.
Now,
just beats everyone
now
up.
I love, even though Bob Barker was there, I still love that other guy. I love that guy that was like the whole quote that he did, the whole like bring the ball home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the whole quote?
Yeah, I do actually remember the whole quote. In fact, we'll actually just go into our categories while we're at it. So, we have 3 categories that we drew before the movie. One of them happened to be favorite quotes.
Yes.
Favorite quotes. Amazing that we would actually draw this one because this movie is completely
very
full
quotable. Very, very
of
quotable.
Quotes. The one that you're thinking of, let me get that. The one that you're thinking of, it was actually by Potter, right? So he's just like, hi, my name is Potter. And then, Happy's just like, there's a bunch of cameras around. Is it always like this? And he's just like, yeah, there's a lot of pressure. You got to rise above it. You got to harness the good energy and block out the bad. Harness energy, block bad. Feel the flow. Feel it. It's circular. It's like a carousel. You pay a quarter, you get on the horse, it goes up and down. And around, circle with the music, the flow, all good things. And you're just like, oh my God. It's like, I don't know what he did. Like, he definitely stole the movie from me because just his moments were so out of there. He was just so positive with everything that he had to say.
Do you wait? Okay. If that's your favorite quote, my favorite quote is the one after that.
Which one was
when
that?
When he's saying take the ball home. Oh, that's my favorite quote. That after one.
Oh, the one. I was like, I don't exactly remember that one, but
man,
I know which one you're talking about. Where he was just like, it's like, Happy. I was like, you have to take him home. His bags are packed. You just got to drive him to the airport and then send him home. You just got to. I'll tell you what, there was so many quotes. I'll throw out some more for you. Ben Stiller's one of my favorite quotes from Ben Stiller. Where she was just like, his grandma was like, a warm glass of milk will help me sleep better. And he was like, you could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up. Which I don't know why we don't generally care.
No, I don't know why either.
I don't know why we don't ever say that.
Forgot about that.
Then just like the random ones too. It's just like the love scene, the endless love scene, where it was just like, he pulls a puck out of his pocket, and she just like, you carry a puck around with you, and he was just like, yeah. And then, of course, the price is right, bitch.
Right.
Or price is, the price is wrong,
bitch. Yeah.
The price is wrong, bitch. Next, of course, Bob Barker, is like, I don't want a piece of you, I want the whole thing, and he just beats the shit out of him.
Do you have do you remember the caddy one?
The caddy one. Oh.
Yeah, with the caddy.
No, I don't remember that one. You had,
okay.
You had to talk about that one.
Okay, so the part where he was he said, "Hey, I'm your caddy." After Adam Sandler pushed him down because he thought he stole his golf clubs.
Yeah.
And he wanted him to be my caddy. You just look out for me in case something happens. And so there was this other gentleman that was coming up, and he's like, "Mr. Gilmore, we're about to tee up." And he's like, "Okay, well, good luck." He's like, "Well, you're in the way." And he's like, "Oh, sorry. Where were you on that, dipshit?"
Just walked. I was like, "Where were you on that, dipshit?" Well, he was eating the Subway sandwich, right? He was after the Bob Barker fight. He was just eating the Subway sandwich, and next he was just talking to Virginia, and he was just like, "God damn it, I hate that Bob Barker." There's the face that Shooter McGavin makes though after the eats pieces of shit for breakfast. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit. No. It's like he just was so confused.
He thought he felt so good because he bought the house.
I know, right?
Happy's house. So
it was just like I had him. The next, of course, the one of the other favorite ones that I have was like, I was like, "You're gonna die, clown."
Yes. For the putt practice.
Yeah, yes. It's like, you think it's funny, clown? I don't hear you laughing now. Oh my gosh, there were so many quotes in that movie. The next quote, we didn't even mention anything that from the very beginning scene. Whenever we get to the whole story about his father, and then
right,
his father, and then dying from the puck and all that stuff, and those are all kind of like
okay. Well, there was one part I love at the very beginning with his girlfriend was leaving him, and he's like, "Fine, get out of here. You smell. You suck." I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean like that. Come back in. I'll do that thing you like. And then there's like this kid that walked off and heard the whole thing.
The kid, and the next the old Asian lady, and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Oh man. All right. So the other so out of all those quotes, I think I needless to say, I think The Price is Wrong, bitch, is probably the most famous one, right? It's the one, right?
It was the one, and the funny part is like you already knew it was coming, but Adam Sandler says it's so good. That's the problem.
Meaning you just
he
had some oomph in it.
Yes. So that's my favorite.
So the other category is would your mom like it?
My mom, I think. My mom would probably hate it halfway through.
Oh, really?
Like, she would hate the second half. Like, I think she would think it's funny. And then after the Bob Barker part, I think she'd be done. She would love. I think she would laugh her head off at the Bob Barker because she wouldn't see it coming. My mom is the type of person that you have to surprise her. Uh-huh. You can't have it set up for her. Like, hey, Mom, why don't you see this part where Bob Barker and Adam Sandler fight? No, you have to say, Mom, watch this scene for me. And then my mom will laugh her head off because she didn't see it coming. That's the comedy she likes, where she doesn't see it coming like that. Yeah. Especially a movie that she didn't think that interests her. Yeah. So like this is a movie she saw in the trailer. Like, I'm not interested in this. But if you show her a clip, it might make her reconsider. So overall, I think my mom would be curious to watch this. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, my mom has seen this movie, so she enjoyed this movie. She thought it was pretty funny whenever. Of course, she had to understand a little bit more about golf and stuff like that. And of course, we had to explain it to her. She's one of those ones that will ask a bunch of questions in the movie,
right? And it's not that important.
Yeah, she's like, just watch it,
right?
just watch the movie,
right?
Just watch the movie. So the other category that we have is the John Woo. We drew the John Woo trademark.
You want to go into that explanation?
I'll go with the John Woo trademark. So there's different things that John Woo does trademark wise in movies that he does. So one being the double guns, where he has where every character generally has two different guns.
Is it now? Let me ask you this.
We talk about in a sense that we can try to insert it in the movie.
Okay, is the double guns just out there, period, or is it the way they pull out with a certain camera angle?
No, he talks about it's just the double guns.
It's just double guns. Okay,
it's just double guns.
Okay,
there's the ballistic shootout where there's just a bunch of shootouts. So there's the double gun jump shootout, kind of where you jump out of the side, you just start shooting out, or you slide and you shoot with the double guns, or you do like kind of like little turnaround with the double guns. There's also the other trademark where he does the face off. Where it's a Mexican standoff where they just stop each other. They hold guns with each other and they hold with each other. The trademark back to back, where they're always back to back again.
I didn't know that was a John Woo.
Yeah, that was a John Woo one.
Okay.
You get it in Face Off where they're back to back against the mirror. And they both turn around, they see themselves inside the mirror, and they shoot at each other. But back to back.
Wow, Bad Boys takes a lot of John Woo moments.
Back to back. The sunglasses and trench coat.
Yes,
always is a classic thing. And of course, the thing that we talk about the most is the doves, right?
Yes.
So really, when I say when we talk about the John Woo moment, it's like where can there be like flying doves, dual wielding, open up pull out the guns and then just kind of shoot around.
Find that alligator.
Yeah. You think it's the
alligator? You find when he's going after Chubbs, getting revenge for Chubbs.
Oh, yeah. You have to set it up. You have to tell us how this works.
Okay, so Chubbs lost his hand to an alligator that lost an eye. Yeah. And he happens to be at one of the ponds where Happy was golfing, and he actually flew the ball in there. And he finds out it's in the alligator's mouth, and he finds out that is the alligator, and he beats him up in that pond. Mm-hmm. And then so that setup right there would be right when he dives in that water, you could see these birds just fly out over it, yeah. And then slow motion him beating it down, And then somehow, for some reason, the caddy has the guns in his thing and in the bag, and he just throws it at him, and then he just finishes him off.
Just finishes.
Yeah. Now my other one too would be as he surprised Chubbs, and Chubbs falls off the window, and he happens to pull out the gun, but he just shoot at nothing, and he still die. No, he pulls out one.
It's just a cinematic beauty, right?
Right. No. The funny, no. It would be but the funny part is about it, Dom, is when he pulls it out, only one hand can handle it. The other one is wooden, so the gun would just fall. That gun would just fall, and he's like, "What?" And then he would just die. And then you have that one guy for putt. He's just like, "Oh no."
Oh yeah. Grizzly Adams does have a beard.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, that'd be my John Woo moment.
I know that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So the Doves one, I didn't actually do the little 360 one. For whatever reason, when I was watching the movie and I was thinking about this, the part where he's just singing into the thing and the door opens.
Yeah.
The door opens and then the Asian lady comes in. And he's just like, oh no! It's like I thought it was my girl, but it's the Asian lady. Right? Yeah. Like when the door opens, doves just start flying everywhere, and she's just like, yes, take me. And he's just like,
you
whatever.
Hear that aha song? Take on me, take on me.
There's that, but I think the one that I want to have fun with is the Shooter McGavin one. Like whenever he hits the ball off the dude's foot.
The guy, the character that plays Jaws.
That was another quote that we didn't really mention either.
Mr. Larson.
Yeah, Mr. Larson's quote too, which we didn't really mention.
Yeah. Please, let's talk about that for real quick.
All right,
I'm sorry. The part where so it was actually in the finals.
Yeah.
And so in that part, it was going back and forth, but Happy was really losing it, and then he kind of get a comeback, and then Shooter was kind of losing it, and they were at the final one. He messed up, and this ball happened to kind of be out of bounds, out of bounds per se, but it's in the crowd. But the rules is you have to play where it is, no matter what it is, and it happened to be on Mr. Larson's foot.
Yeah.
So he had to just hit it off. And I guess Mr. Larson was like, "Oh, that's good. That's your second hit." And he was like, "Oh, good. I'm glad you know how to count." Yeah, you can count to two. And he would say, "Yeah, you know what else you can count me on? Count me out in that parking lot. I'll be waiting."
You can count on me to meet you in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was a great line.
I don't know why so many quotes. But it's the putt afterwards, right? So he makes that putt where there's just like, if he makes the putt, he will par. He will par onto this hole, and if he misses this putt, then Happy can just two putt it into win the game.
Yes.
And so he hits the putt. It goes in. Then it starts doing the slow motion. He does his little finger gun thing.
Yeah.
He does a little turnaround with the trench coat finger gun thing. Just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I made the putt. Boom, boom.
Yes.
Just doves flying everywhere. He
yes.
looks at Gilmore. He's just like, boom, boom, boom. With the double guns, just acting all Shooter McGavin-ish. Like I think that's the best moment because it would just be so important to him, before like the tower and everything fell down.
We'll have to let our listeners decide on that one. Which
Oh,
John Woo moment they would like.
I would love to hear them tell me what their John Woo moments. But with that being said, man, of course we had fun with the categories here. Mm-hmm. So as always, we're gonna look at the Rotten Tomato scores. Audience given an 85. Critics give it a 61. Jeremy, which way do you lean?
I'm gonna go with the audience, 85%. I think that this movie is funny and enjoyable. Like I told you off our recording, I'll say it now. This is my favorite Adam Sandler movie out of his personal collection. Not Happy Madison, but just him personally. Until further notice. What about you?
Balance between this and Waterboy. I think between the two of the movies, I enjoy them a lot. But I want to say Happy Gilmore, probably the peak Adam Sandler that you can get. 85% by all means. Just because I look at the 61%, I think to myself, it's like enjoyable, but not like good.
Right.
It's good, enjoyable, but it's just enjoyable. Like I think this takes it to another extreme. I think there's a lot of laughs. There was a lot of fun. It was well paced. The music worked out well. There were so many memorable quotes from that movie in itself, and so many memorable scenes that you can sit there and watch the movie over and over and over again, and you can go in at any point into the movie and just watch that movie again.
It almost feels like the people that are the 61% critics are you're Adam Sandler fan or you're not.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think they may have just taken it a little bit too critical and just kind of slapstick comedy, right?
Right. It's a good 90s film.
Yeah.
It's crazy enough.
And I think oddly enough, it still ages well. I think it still ages well, minus the idea of cell phones and whatnot. But Jeremy, why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
Well, you can find our show as part of the In-Game Boss program, a network gaming and other variety shows like the In-Game Boss podcast, which I host personally. And we have another movie podcast dedicated to James Bond called Bond Never Dies. And a show that just ended last month, which I recommend everybody listen to. I do one with Curtis Sism. It's called The Gaming Halls of Rivalries. We put two characters together and we talk about how they clash against each other. But you can find all these shows on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and of course YouTube. And make sure you just look for type in the full name In-Game Boss program. But on YouTube, you can actually type in the name of the show on there, and I'll also send you there also. So that's two benefits. But while you're there, subscribe to the network, leave a comment, tell them we're doing a great job, we're doing a bad job, what movies you like to see. Let us know out of our John Woo's which one that you prefer better. We'd like to hear your opinions on that. Maybe we'll do a tally point or something like that. That'd be kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
And so
shoot him, McGavin, please vote.
And so are you a Happy Gilmore fan? Did you like it or dislike it? Tell us your favorite. What are your favorite lines? Maybe we missed one. But also, too, you can find our show on Facebook and, of course, Twitter by typing in also the In-Game Boss program. And if you want to reach out to me personally, type in the In-Game Office at gmail.com, and I'll make sure to reply back to you. But if you want to talk to us personally, and, you know, I like my personal space, but I'll let this slide. You can find me as RetroAmp07.
Yeah, and you can always hit me up and just look at my random thoughts. I am the Dream City Drifter at the KN Tran.
You got a lot of alias.
Dream City Drifter.
I got a lot of alias too.
Drift
I like
away.
that one. Drift away. Drift away on that river.
Drift.
Yeah.
Well said.
But with that, we will catch you on our next decade.